Hi everyone. Today is November the 21st. The waiting is over. Another nothing burger essentially for NVIDIA, though they did have very good earnings. Their guidance was a little light, and so this is going to be interesting going forward. I expect a little rotation, but we will see. All right, so here's where we are. Key resistance. Take a look at these beautiful boxes, folks. They have been just money. If you've been long overnight and through this fade, it's probably time to take a little profit. And so early this morning, I suspect we see, a little bit of a topping formation up here. A lot of single prints getting printed in the early part of the day. Let's see what's on the docket. Today is Thursday. We've got jobless claims coming at 8:30. Philly Fed manufacturing index, existing home sales, leading indicators, and the nat gas report. Man, nat gas has been on a tear. I mean, I haven't seen nat gas move like that in a hot minute. So there we go. What to look for? You want to see if it stalls out. If it breaks to the north, we can chase it back to value area high at 59.83 very easily. Pullbacks should be buy zones in this area, but the pullbacks could be deeper, all the way to 59.01. Notice how deep the pullbacks have been the last couple of days. Shallower yesterday than the day before. So it does tell us that buying pressure is continuing from underneath, because that's where buyers come in to save the day. All right, so we'll be staring that down. The volume point of control sits at 59.18. Should get a little noisy, but as it sits right now, no place to short just yet. Let the top blow off. If you're long, stay long. Just raise the stop. All right, upper edges, as I mentioned, 59.83. Lower edges, 59.17 to 58.90. All right, 58.83 holding very, very nicely. Let's take a look at the Qs. Right there at the top of the box, everything looking very similar. The Qs are not quite at the top, so there's still a likelihood of a run-up into 20,847. Please forgive the froggy voice, you know me. Allergies galore. So if you're long, raise the stop. No place to go short just yet. Give it a little time. Let it frame out. Be patient, because these markets are giving us fantastic opportunities if we hang on and we look at the bigger zones in play. Now, could I move this one out a bit to the upside? I could, but I'm going to leave it there for now. We'll see what gives. 29,890, and then a low pocket, low volume area all the way up to 20,962. Pullbacks are buy zones, but overnight inventory being so long, there's going to be a battle to see who wins this fight. And my thought is the shorts are running for the hills right now in general. All right, let's take a look at YM. YM breaking out of this rotation. My thought really was that this would stop at the VWAP area at about 43,664. It's still running long, still running hot. Let's draw two new trend lines. Remember, I don't like to trade on trend lines. What I do like to use trend lines for is to remind me of where price is actually going. Higher highs, higher lows, pullbacks are buy zones, okay? Pullbacks into heavy congestion somewhere around 43,400. I do like this number. I am going to draw a line here. I like this as an opening buy zone, and yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks really, really good for pullbacks being buy zones. Here's the thing: if you're saying to yourself, where does that buying stop? It's gonna get a little dicey if we lose 43,400. That's still giving us a ton of room to move upside, and we could have ourselves a little bit of noise, because the next thing on the docket, which is fairly important, will be the Fed meeting ahead. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin. As I mentioned, these guys really want to head off to 100,000. Listen, that's only $1,500 away. These guys, they want to do it. They do. And so it is very likely that we hit it. Operator error here, of course. That's the top of the box. Remember, they like to work in these even numbers, so they're dancing around that 98,500. I think this is a topping space that could come all the way down to 95,500. That's the last area of old resistance, newest area of support. I'm looking to buy down there. I have no intention of selling this top. Volatility bands clearly showing upside pressure, but notice, see how the volatility bands are way out here, and we're making higher highs inside of the band. We are not walking it. And so what this chart has a tendency to do is blow off into the vol bands and then retrace into the center. And where is that next one? Well, wouldn't you know it, somewhere around 100,000. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Dips or buys. Absolutely love this chart. It's been so straightforward to trade. Just wait for the fade and then buy the dip. Okay, and you can manage your risk so easily in this chart because you can trade the micros. All right, oil breaking out. Here's the range. Here's the new box, right? This box right here. I think this is a new box for us to look at. I'm going to draw it. What we have to see, we see it as heavy congestion, but we don't see it as a retest. Not quite yet. So if it comes back to retest value area high at around 69.78, looks like a pretty good buy zone. I prefer 69.35. Yesterday I wanted 68.50. Did not give me a shot. Okay, and so now maybe I'm thinking, hey, maybe I ought to temper my expectations on the fade, right? Especially since nat gas is just exploding. All right. That being said, pullbacks are buy zones here. Value area high. Wait for it to pull back, find the low, and then buy it. Does that take patience? You betcha. Where's the upside for this? 70.55 all the way to 71.06, and then 71.60, right? Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right. Let's take a look at gold. Topping formation, in my mind, this is what's setting up. What's going to happen at the first pass? Buyers are going to come in. Why? Because the trend is up. Where's the best buy zone here? It's old resistance, new support. That's around 26.43, right? It's also very near a liquidity event, which is 26.50. So pullbacks remain buy zones, but watch for a topping formation here on the price action event. It feels to me like this is going to fade just a bit. Give us another chance to go long on the deeper fades back. And that really is because of what's happening with the dollar. And the dollar is sort of stumbling around near support zones. So we'll see, right? Okay, that's it for the futures. Let's take a look at SPY. At the VWAP, 592, big number. We talked about this. Old resistance breakout. Old support breakdown. Big candlestick up into the range. Pullback into 591-ish. Gives us a pretty good buy zone. My thought is that sellers are going to start floating around here. That's just me. I do think that sellers are going to start floating around here for sure. But it's still a buy zone, and if you're long, what you need to do is raise your stop. Okay? That's what it's looking like. Where are the edges? Value area low, 587. Value area high, way up here at 600, and lots of resistance at 594. I think that's where we're headed. We shall see. But pre-market inventory being this long could give us a pretty substantial fade, in my mind. I like the shorting action as long as we have the top that pulls in and gives us another hourly candlestick inside of the 504 range. Otherwise, in the Qs, we head to 506 and then 507 with 509.90 as that top edge that we're staring down. All right, that's it for me, folks. Good luck trading. Hope to see you on Fast Markets on Top Step TV today. Join me and we'll be trading the futures live. Take care, everyone. See you on the streams.